Welcome to A Dose of Landis, Season 1, Show 27. Now, the show that we did this past Saturday was Sean from Heroes and Legends. It's kind of awesome to get to film that event, but like I said, man, it seems like ever since I interviewed I interviewed Dan last year, and then had Dan on for like 5 or 6 times on A Dose of Landis, which he will be on this Saturday. Well, not on Dose of Landis, but POG show. But we are here at Sports Camp, Michigan Sports Camp. This Saturday they are doing POG, Price of Glory, Enter the Dragon. As a matter of fact, I worked with the heavyweight champion Lois London before, and FEW. Jack Reville, worked with him. Jimmy Shaolin, worked with him. It'd be like a little reunion all over again. So, crazy. But you know, I haven't done anything in forever in the ring. But like I said before I get to that, Scott Fisher's going to be interviewing some people today.
What's up, homies?
Chris.
What's up?
One of the head trainers right here.
How's it going, guys?
What's your name?
Dynamite McPeters.
What's up? My name's Ryan Gilbert. I'm a trainee here.
So you guys ready for some TV time?
Oh, we're ready.
Yeah.
This is the ring. This is what it's like in the ring. Now I'm going to do something real quick with this camera so you know what's going on. Okay, don't worry, Chris. I got it. This is what it's like when you're on the ropes. Well, I've never seen a point of view camera that way, so you might see it from this side, but I'm gonna do it from this side. I haven't done this in forever, so. There's no place like home. Stay tuned for some interviews. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, welcome to A Dose of Landis. This is episode 30. This one's a very, very important episode to me. The guy that got me started in independent wrestling named Dark Angel, he passed away just 2 years ago. That's kind of scary. You know, if you come in here, Chris, he showed me the ins and outs of the ropes and professional wrestling and independence. I mean, I started out as a yarder wanting to be something, and he, in his vision, took me out and was like, Jeff, you got what it takes to be a star. And you know, they always say that you gotta be grateful for the person who brings you to the dance. Well, Dark Angel, you've done so much for me. You've went off on me a couple times. You've told me, you know, hey, you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. But this show right here, I'm paying tribute to you. It's kind of sad, man. I've had several memories with him. You're gonna see him with the Golden Lion, showing clips of him from back in the day. Sorry, I'm very emotional. I remember my very first, supposed to have a wrestling match, which is gonna be on this show just as well. My very first wrestling match. I was supposed to come out and wrestle him, but due to the age of 17, I couldn't wrestle. So, yeah, you're gonna see that footage. You're gonna see him interview Golden Lion, Ox Baker. So, yeah, if you can, please roll that. Here's the footage of him, which is also dedicated to his daughter Danielle. Me and her become really good friends. So if you want, roll that footage of Dark Angel and a tribute to him. Rest in peace and thank you. Well, like I said last time, like I said in the ring, I just wanted to get that ring out. I'm just excited. I mean, I'm hyped. You know, like I said, Dan, we're going to interview Dan on Saturday. We're doing POG. I might possibly refer him, but we got the permission to film POG, and not only film POG, but I might be refereeing. But like I said, today we are here at Michigan Sports Camp. Listen to this guy, also stretch you like crazy. But right now we're going to get a tour of this. Like I said, this is a 2-hour special. Like I said, last time we had a 1-hour special. This time it's 2 hours. It's going to be intense training, chops, a practice match, a blue mat match. But yeah, Chris and Scott will be, sorry, I'm hypnotized out. You can tell I'm so hyped, man. Did you see what I did in the ring earlier? It's been forever, man. Been forever. But right now we're going to get a tour of this place. Hey, what's up?
Pretty good. Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
How's it going?
Now, what are you doing here?
We're starting to train right now. We're starting to stretch out and get everything ready so we can. Ready?
So who's this guy?
This is Ryan.
My name's Ryan. I'm a trainee here.
Nice. Like I said, I'm gonna have one of my guys interview you here later on. So tell us what's. Like I said, last time we were here, we got a little mini tour. So can you give us a little
Oh, absolutely.
big tour?
I can definitely give you the grand tour. Absolutely.
Okay, grand tour.
Follow me. First and foremost, my name is Brian McPeters, otherwise known as Dynamite McPeters. It is very nice to meet you guys. Now, first and foremost over here, obviously this is the professional wrestling spot. It's either professional wrestling, MMA, depends on what's going on for that moment in time. Whereas today, from 7 to 9, is our professional wrestling program. This is also used to be, probably still will be, our little area for professional wrestling shows, for future ones.
Now, question.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the address of this place for people who, you know, oh, I want to be a professional wrestler. Whatever it takes. Let them know about this place.
Absolutely. We are at 315 North Fisk Road in Coldwater, Michigan, 49036.
Nice.
All right. So, in here, this little fun area, which is cold, by the way, is the amateur wrestling area. Oh, it feels fantastic. And not to mention as well, sometimes we actually get ready for like in-ring matches over here, so that way we can actually know, hey, like there's a lineup that we always have to do, and we always come in here, get ready, and then after that, our entrance usually starts in there.
Okay, so this is kind of like a locker room.
Yeah, it's like a locker room at times too. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming over here left and right, so today's just one of those good one-on-one sessions until some people show up, which is a great thing. We also do Muay Thai as well as boxing, kickboxing. We used to do gymnastics a long time ago. We still do amateur wrestling, of course, professional wrestling, and also MMA. In here is a wonderful weight room. We have an array. We have a plethora, is what I'm going to call it, a plethora of weights. If you need some weights for any unknown reason, just come on over here, utilize the weight room as much as we can. Inside of here,
Chris, you can follow him. Watch your footing, Chris.
inside here, we gotta keep it down a little bit. It's very warm here.
Can I just stay in here?
This is actually our kitchen area for concessions and everything else like that for shows, as well as the patrons that actually stay here at times. They come in here and utilize the kitchen as much as they can. Inside of there, we can go in there right now because currently someone's utilizing that room, but that is one of the dorm areas. We can definitely show you guys another time exactly.
Oh, that's fine.
It's like a lounge area. It's pretty nice. It's relaxing. In here. Alrighty. So, it's like I said, the weight room. This is my favorite one right here. Shoulders. As you can see from the wall right here, he has actually witnessed and seen and probably wrestled so many of these guys, as well as, of course, getting their autograph and his wonderful trainer. He says, see, yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. He's very patriotic, as you can tell. Of course, right there is the restroom, self-explanatory.
Can't film in there.
Nope, can't go there.
Oh, you can, but.
Yeah, you can go there. So, inside of here is where our boxing room and our blue mat matches and everything else. Watch your step.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
I tell you to watch where you're going.
This is where the Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, you name it, they are doing it here. Over here, actually, sports camps. This right here is known as our blue mat matches in professional wrestling and the Dan Severn's training facility that we have for professional wrestling, we do 5 blue mat matches in order to go inside of the ring. Because his concept, which is a really great concept, is that you can actually make a match without utilizing the ropes. The ropes is just for fun. You can actually utilize a match without even doing that much of anything except for big, huge grappling moves and flashy stuff.
So today, are we gonna see a first ever blue mat match? Because we've never seen one.
Probably not. I'm not so certain yet. I have to see if the trainee is ready for one quite yet, which it's like pretty much on the fence at that moment in time. We'll see. We'll definitely see. You might actually see some in-ring matches too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So that's gonna be great. My little present to you guys.
Oh yeah.
As well as Michigan Sports Camps and also the NW7.
That was, which is kind of cool too. Is like I said, we talked about me returning. Talking about a different company going to be returning actually, but then we talked yesterday. Actually, it's funny about talking about wrestling and how I wanted to get a practice match in. So maybe you can tell I didn't lose it with the bumps. I still got what it takes as a bumper.
You still got it.
I mean, I can't do it as a wrestler anymore, but
Trust me, been there.
so we might find out that I might be able to referee at POG this Saturday. So
Maybe. And probably, just maybe, you might actually get to be refereeing tonight. How about that?
okay.
Yeah,
So we'll see if I
see?
still have what it takes, and then what Brian was telling me too is that be a test run. Maybe if I have what it takes, maybe I'll be able to referee for POG. How's that sound?
That would sound fantastic, actually.
You're one of the guys that's one of the head trainers. So like I said, I'm not trying to step all over.
Technically instructor in training. I'm still training to do it, and I'm still a trainee myself. So it's, I'm still learning, which is great.
But you know what I mean? Though, you get to see that. You can tell Dan, hey, Jeff did this and Jeff did that. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Like we can, and plus we can show them as well on Best Landis.
Oh yeah, this is 27, but don't forget the 30th. Sorry, the 30th episode. I'm doing a special tribute to Dark Angel. It's kind of cool because we've all went back to professional wrestling again, and again, like I said, I started out as a yarder doing this, and then I evolved in.
My dad broke me in the business.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get a little story about him just as well. We'll have Scott or Chris interview because that's the whole point of you guys to come down, not only be just me, but So how's that sound? Sit down and interview with one of you guys.
It would be fantastic. It'd be an honor. It'd be an honor.
Sound like a plan, Chris? So later on, not only do we see him just pretty much instructor making the guy sweat, chops, and whatever.
Oh, there'll be some chops. There'll be some chops.
There's going to be an in-ring interview with him. So how's that sound? A little bit about your career and let people know, hey, this is what I'm doing.
It feels great. Hey, at least you get some color on here.
Oh, I couldn't.
Just a little bit.
I noticed it was kind of bright today, but
Well, I mean, with the gloom, with the gloomy outside weather that we're having today, we have to have a little bit of color, have a little bit of flash and flare into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
Well,
like
not
I said,
flare.
I actually worked with him in 2 shows after this one.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like I said, I also want to say this straight up to. I emailed Dan the other a couple weeks ago, telling him I was thankful for the opportunity because ever since I had him on my show, I've been interviewing these big name wrestlers. I had Rob Van Dam on, but before I've interviewed some big celebrities. But like I said, he opened an avenue to where I could interview a lot more people. So if it wasn't for Dan Severn for not only having me interview him a couple times, but also saying all good stuff about me, considering me as a friend, I'm like, holy crap! And we know that Dan is a very, very picky on who he lets in, and it's like when he told me that he wants to do business with him, like, wow. So
it's one of those nostalgic moments where you just look at it, you're like, flashing before my eyes.
Like, is it really happening? Because
it's like you had to literally take the fog off your glasses and just okay, this is happening. This is really happening. So
yeah, because I was watching Raw and he was on it, and like I said, I interviewed RVD and had Sonny on back in 2000 something. It's all a blur sometimes. But I'm like, holy crap, man! You work with these people now. You're working with them now. So that's awesome. Especially you get what I'm saying though. It's it's wow. And
when I found out that my dad was going to have me train over here a while ago, and I'll mention this during the interview, I at first was like, okay, no pressure, we're good. And the next thing you know, just 12 years later, and I'm training people now, and it's a rush.
It's a rush, but it's also tiring. So stay tuned as Chris Scott's will get a one-on-one interview with him. But what are we going to see here today with the drills? What are you going to do? Or do you want to
You are going to see a bump.
Oh, I guess he's going to tell us. Okay.
Yeah, you're. Actually, I'm going to tell you a little later on today. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys exactly.
I'd rather see it. I'd rather see it.
I will show you guys exactly what the blue mat drill is going to be about. This is our very first one in literally 10 years. So it's going to be really new. I revamped the old school to make it new school. It's what I like to do for my trainees. Because most of the trainees, I mean, we've both seen it, they don't like the old stuff. It's like, well, except for you. But that's another point. So
old school, man. It's all about old school. You got a mixture of everything.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm excited, man. I was glad I got to bump in the ring. I feel like, man, that's awesome.
Is your back still hurt?
A little bit, but I'll be all right. It's part of the business, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like you said, it is a part of the business. Trust me, there's so many times I've been bumped.
Even as a referee, as a manager, even a cameraman, you got to learn how to take bumps. You're fine though. You're fine.
Yeah,
you're fine. You're fine.
Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah. Oh my God. But like
I mean, after all this, it's a dose of Landis. You may never know what's gonna happen.
That's actually a true statement on that one. Very, very true statement. But like I said, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm excited that I might get to referee POG, but we will be there Saturday for sure.
Saturday Enter the Dragon. Be there.
Definitely. But stay tuned for some more intense training. I'm just gonna shut up. Just go to it.
A little bit more up, and make sure your chest is broadened a little bit more. Okay. So, when you go in for the collar elbow, boom. Make sure it's up. So basically just straight up and down. So just stretch a little bit, arch your back a little bit, stretch. There you go. That's exactly the concept. Now whenever you're ready, you
I'm born.
got this. Alright. Let's do it. Push it. Man. One more time. And we go into red row. Woo! Hello. Hey, you're learning stuff. I like it. Oh, there you go. Good stuff. Right. I think I did that takeover preview. Boom. You pop down. Move. Whoa. Alright? Now, in this position, half Nelson up, where your hand is cupping right here. Alright? Then you swing in and through.
And then that one goes
Then
right
that goes
there.
right here. This palm, palm back. You're looking at your palm is looking at the crowd.
Are those locked?
Yes.
Okay.
You lock like this. Always lock like this. So it's boom. And then boom. Okay?
Now you drop down to.
I drop down to
If I'm doing it like this, it would be this one.
Yep. Yes. Alright.
And then when you
So-
do it,
When you do it, it's always this one, so that way you're posting off of
and
this.
so I don't smash.
Yeah. So you won't smash it. So you just boom, swim through. Okay?
I've only done that like twice.
It's okay. It's a learning experience. It's training. So we're gonna go through here. This is a practice run, okay? Yeah, that's right. No. No. Sit. Oh, sorry. Ready? Stop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back to a dose of Landis here at the Michigan Sports Camp. I'm Scott Fisher. I am joined by.
My name is Ryan Gilbert. I am a trainee here at Michigan Sports Camps.
All right. Well, this is an honor, privilege, to be back here at Michigan Sports Camp. I just wanted to touch base with you to, figure out what you're doing here. What are your goals as far as like the wrestling goes?
No.
So, first of all, how long you been watching wrestling?
This has been a dream of mine since I was 5,
5. All right.
maybe a little before. I don't know. My father got me into it.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 October 21st.
So, saying that, you grew up in probably the.
I grew up in the ruthless aggression era, and
So sorry. So the John Cena's of the world. Huh?
yeah, but
I'm sure that's not your heaviest influence.
no.
Who are some of your biggest influences?
Wrestling-wise or
wrestling.
personal-wise?
Personal, wrestling, whatever.
Well, wrestling-wise, I really, I know he's not big much, but I mean, Big Show, because he's a big guy. And
That's a good
I'm a
choice.
big guy. And Braun Strowman recently.
There you go.
Personal, I mean, my nephew influences me. He'll actually be at the show this Saturday.
Are you gonna be working that show?
I wish. But my mother and my girlfriend.
Right on. So, what is your long-term goal here at Michigan Sports Camp?
I think everybody's long-term goal is to eventually be in the WWE, of course. But
Right.
that's hard work and dedication. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So all I can say is, of course, that's a goal.
Yeah. So, what's the short term?
Short term,
Yeah.
getting the ring.
So you were explaining to me earlier a little bit about what you wanted to do as far as like a character goes. It's kind of an interesting mix there because typically in the Midwest we have a bunch of country boys and all this other garbage that I don't like personally.
You want
Dearly
me to
know.
explain my character?
I do want you to explain your
Alright.
character to the fine
Well,
folks.
My character's name is the Devil's Worst Nightmare, Chaos.
Ah.
He is a masked, demonic character. And, I mean, I haven't really written up much of a backstory quite yet, but I'm working on it. He's a character in development.
Well, he already got his town down, that's for sure. I mean, you could say you're from Hell, Michigan, for all we know. It's a real thing. So,
Yeah.
last time I checked, anyway.
Yeah, I believe it's over by Sturgis.
Road trip.
want to thank you for your time, explaining yourself and who you are and where you're coming from. And hopefully you'll be in the ring soon.
Hopefully. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
It's the whole thing's not scary until your foot's here.
Yeah.
Until it gets here. That's the scariest point.
Yeah, because then you're waiting. I've gone over.
So practice, I used to do it on a bar in a playground when I was watching my nephew. It was 15, 16, watching my nephew in the summer.
And then it's
So let's go to a bar, like a playground bar, because they were sturdier. And then I got the idea, and when it's doing this, it's a little scarier. But you got to bring your feet both up, and you can just practice, like tapping your toes right there and coming back down for a couple times.
Okay.
And you go. But you use this for your momentum. You can literally, because that's how Ray gets up there. There's no way he could jump this high when his head's right here. He uses this to catapult himself up. So you want to catapult up, not in, because otherwise you'll.
Yeah, I'm
So you
watching
catapult-
too much Shelton Benjamin because he makes everything look too.
Catapult up, and you go, as this thing pulls you up, that's when you spring down.
Yeah.
So you go down, spring up,
Okay.
and then when you get the feeling of touching both feet at the same time, then just lean forward a little and just do a hop.
Do you prefer doing it in the center or off on one side of the
I like it's sturdier out here, so I like it out here. Depends on the ring. If the ring is real sturdy, it don't matter where you're at. But if the ring's sloppy, definitely towards it. So you got the left foot, you gotta get that right foot up.
Yep.
I can still see your momentum going from
I could see you do a
from
cross
here.
body
Look,
with that.
you're going here in. You can't get height to it. But you can't. I mean, you get some whatever you can jump.
Right.
But if you want to look like you can jump, you know, you got frog legs up. I mean, you're projecting this way. Crank it up. Make your hips follow. I look like I can jump way high. I really only have like a 1.5 foot jump. I can't slam dunk or nothing. I could just.
He's gonna break this.
I can use momentum.
He almost bit it.
You can do it from the inside to the out, and it's a little safer because you can always go back. Because all you have to do is tilt,
Yeah,
and you fall back.
I have a tendency to go forward when I do it. I don't want to use shit.
Then you're doing it the right way.
Like if I fall there, I'll just land on my feet.
Getting another spot to the practice because it's a little bit closer to your feet when you're doing it. Is right here. You got less than you get 6 inches of practice space. So you do it here, and it's almost the same concept. Down, up. So you got less space to go, and you got more of a base you can land on. Because your base goes this way instead of this way.
Can you pop up and turn around facing their way like RVD?
Yep, do it. I used to do it all the time. That was like RVD and Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero are all my 3 favorite guys to watch. Shawn Michaels too, but yeah. You grab, try to remember where to grab when I do that. So I end up with a floating hand and I swing around, yeah.
Oh, nice. It's like a ninja.
Yeah. And I used to do the Shelton Benjamin, the single leap to the top, and I did that in a match with Dusty Dillinger back in war. He was sitting on the top rope, like I was going to come up and suplex him or something, and instead I started on this side, ran across, jumped up to that top rope, and then he spine busted me off of it. But I did a single leap up to the top to get him. And I've done it before on Steve Stone to suplex him from it. That was a lot of fun. Scary though. I wonder if I can still do it.
Yeah, I can't jump that high, but I can do that pop up.
Probably hurt myself on camera. Psych myself out. Edit that one.
Okay. I got you.
I'm psyching myself out of it. I could probably do it, but I'm psyching myself out of that.
Try this again.
Been too many years. There you go. I saw it too. I saw your hips go down and up. Because then you float up and you can just land. It's super easy. Then you're like, oh, and then you go. And then you practice that enough times and you can do whatever you want from there. As long as you get a good base. You got to check the rings though before you work on.
Yeah.
Because these ropes can tend to roll.
Yeah, like
And that's real bad. And some are like super sloppy. Like I've been in a ring where when you hit the ropes are doing this. And prior to the match, I'm like, I'm now going to do this thing where I jump off the middle rope, spin around and drop kick you. And I did it and I was like, holy shnikes. I can't believe I completed it. Because the rope was doing this as I was approaching it. I was like, oh. So I got lucky that.
Other thing I've been having an issue with is There's a spot that Evan Bourne used to do when he was Matt Sydal. It was he would do like the Miz clothesline.
And it's like a suicide bumping style. So you go over, boom, take the bump. Over, take the bump. Make sure that within that whole time frame, you do not touch the out boundary. If you do that, you have to do it all over again. All right? I'm gonna do. Let's do 5 to start that off because he wants to do 10.
One,
This is a new thing for me too.
3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That. For now. Then, because when Dan comes over here, it's gonna be the other way around. So I'm gonna be nice today, so that way you know exactly what you're in store. So I have 2 more times to go. 3, 4, 5. Very simple. Very, very simple. Let's do a back bump or a face bump. I don't care. Anybody
You want
else?
to go or you want me to go first?
I'll give it a shot.
Alright, that's why I say the best for last.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. 4th one was kind of off. Is that right?
Do what?
4th one was off, but it's like
Yeah.
I felt it. 1. Nice job. Get upright. Elbow, remember that. Alright, here you go. 2.
Still using your hands.
So you put my elbow down first. So, get each other the whole thing. There you go. That's exactly it. The 4th one. There you go.
Whoa!
Yes. Down.
You alright?
Down.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. We'll give it to you this time. You can just do one more. Okay. Or you can just take your bump out.
I would have done completely fell there and I would have been.
Yep. There you go, that's 5. And that right there is the drill rope.
How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. So my first question is, what got you into wrestling?
It's a weird story. I was in 8th grade, amateur wrestling, back when, like middle school in Coldwater, Michigan. And I actually did a scoop slam on one of the kids. And they told me that was not how to correctly do something. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I looked at my dad, I said, that's not the wrestling that I wanted to do. And then my dad said, oh crap. So it went from oh crap to, he brought me over here and he's like, ever heard of Dan Severn? I'm like, of course I had, because I was a WWF fan way back in the Attitude Era, and of course he knew Dan Severn. So after that, he brought me over here. He taught me a couple things beforehand, but Dan taught me the rest, and the rest is history now.
Well, what are your goals here at the training camp?
My goals is to make sure that every trainee that walks through that door is going to get their money's worth and going to get the help that they need to actually improve on their wrestling career.
That's pretty good. So, where are you planning on going, like, afterwards, like after you're at the training camp?
I'm always up for anywhere, honestly. I would love to go to Mexico and learn the lucha libre aspect of like a professional wrestling, as well as like I would love to go to Canada. I would love to go to different countries all around the world just to learn.
Right, that's a good thing to have, is learning different aspects of different styles of competing, especially in the ring.
Yeah, especially when you're also training other people here, because if they want to learn this certain type of style, you're right there, and you're like, hey, this is what I've learned. Hopefully I can help you out, and then you can branch off from there. And it's what this facility is about. This is like the start of branching your career into many different areas.
So, how long have you been here at the training camp?
November 28th will be my 13th year.
Oh. So you've been here for a long time.
I started at the age of 14. My very first match inside of this beautiful thing right here was when it was my 15th birthday. And I went against Johnny Dynamo, and it was fun.
So, your dad pretty much got you into this, or were you?
My dad was a wrestler back in the day, back in the 80s. He was known as Mad Dog McFeeders in the independent circuit, and he did a couple of spots in AWA and a list of other places. And then by the time he left, it was like 1993 when he was done, because he wanted to start a family. And then after that, backtracked to 2004. I was like, hey, I want to do this, and he was like, okay, let's do it. So it was very supportive.
Okay, well, thank you for the time for the
Thank
interview.
you so much.
Stay tuned for more interviews, and see you guys later.
Welcome back to Adosa Landis. Here I am, obviously Jeff Landis, the part of like I said, today we're at Michigan Sports Camp Part 2. So today we're more in depth when we get interviews with people. It's kind of funny because, again, like, sometimes when I do my shows, they all get intertwined with somehow. And again, like I said, today I'm going to be refereeing my first match in forever, which is kind of funny because my very first match I refereed was this guy, Awesome Gary Dawson. How's it going, man?
That's going great, man.
It's great seeing you again, man.
It's really good to see you again. It's probably been more than 10 years since we've seen each
Oh
other.
man,
So.
I remember Jason sent me out. Was like, you know how to ref? I was like, yay and nay, because I go down some of his training and they're going out there like, oh, crap, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And I remember it was you, Doug, Mr. Main Event. First match on the card, I think. Yeah. I think he won over by you hitting, or he hit you with the nuts or that lady.
Yeah, that's the Mr. Main Event, general finish for Mr. Main Event. Is he would distract the referee, slip them brass knucks on when neither of them were watching, thump the guy with him, and then put him in a sleeper to make it look like he knocked him out with the sleeper. So
Actually,
I've fallen victim to that one several times.
Actually, I think I've got that match actually somewhere on my vault.
I would love to see that match. I'd probably pick it apart and see all the terrible things I did. I do that. That's what I do.
It's funny because, like I said, we were all sitting at the arena and you're like, do you know, at first I was filming and then I started getting, involved in doing, refereeing and stuff. This is weird how it all worked out. And I also found out too that you have a family history with professional wrestling. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
For people that don't know.
The guy you're talking about, Mr. Main Event, Doug Schell, is actually my brother. When I got into wrestling, him and my brother Dan Schell, who's Elvis Elliott out on the independent circuit, both went to Al Snow's Body Slammer School down in Lima, Ohio. And at the time they went, I was 14 to 15 years old, so I couldn't sign and go to the classes because you had to be over 18 to be part of the school. So they would come home each day. They drive to Lima every day from Toledo, Ohio, come back home where I'd be waiting to find out all the knowledge they learned that day and absorb it in. And so when they took the bumps in the ring and on the pads, I would be taking the bumps in the living room and on the floor. So at first it was fine because they didn't take bumps for a while, and they would just be locking up and showing arm locks, and that was all good until it got to bumping. Then they got kind of farther ahead than me and kind of left me in the dust for a little bit. But that summer came around, their first summer after training, because they trained during the wintertime, and when summertime came around, they kind of smartened me up a little bit more. And at 15, I was able to have my debut match down at an ox roast in Columbus, Ohio. So between the three of us, that was my first match. We had a triple threat match between Elvis Elliott, Mr. Main Event, and Awesome Gary Dawson, where I made my debut. The name Gary Dawson, I didn't even know what to pick for a name because I just wanted to be different than Elvis Elliott and Mr. Main Event, but I didn't think about using Gary Schell. And at the time, it was right around the 96 Olympics. So it was probably 96, I was 16. There was a gymnast with the last name Dawes, Dominique Dawes. And they called her Awesome Dawson. And my brother says, just be Gary Dawson.
Awesome Gary Dawson. There you go. And I'm like, all right, I don't care. So we went with that name, and ever since then, I just like, I'll just stick with the name because it works, because it's the cheesiest name. But hey, if you can get a cheesy name over, then you're doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you're down in Marion, man, you had the crowd at the palm of your hand. It's like, wow. And, you know, I mean, he's explain everybody your moveset. I mean, because like I said, back then you were acrobatic. And
Back then I was pretty acrobatic. I still can be. I pick and choose it wiser now, especially because I don't know all who's there to catch me, who's there to, you know, you don't know where everybody's been trained and how they've been trained. So when you get guys that you're more comfortable with, and when I was out there with my brothers, that's where I was the most comfortable, because I know as much as they're going to lay into me and hurt me some, they're actually going to take care of me to make sure I can work the next day. So I could be a little bit more loose with some of those guys and the guys that trained with them over at Body Slammers. But man, we had some good times.
So pretty much you guys are they got you know how they have the hearts in Calgary, and then they have you know, the Lawler in Tennessee. You know you know what I'm talking.
Yep, the Von Erichs down in Texas.
So
and,
it's like, you know,
we're a wrestling family, a legit wrestling family, because there's a lot of brothers that aren't brothers out there. But in the wrestling independent, especially in the independent circuit around us, we're one of the few families, other than the Monahans and I think the Christ brothers from Columbus area. I guess Dayton now. That they're pretty much one of the 3 area families that are actually in wrestling, because it's usually an individual that gets into it, not as much the entire family. But and it's been a fun ride. I've had about last 10 years off, so I'm trying to coming here at Michigan Sports Camp, which is a tremendous facility. Just trying to break off some ring rusts, hanging out with some old friends, catching up, and just having a good time.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's funny because I was talking about the first episode that we did here was Dust Landis. Like that was back in January that we came here. Let's just say we've done so many episodes. I mean, obviously you follow me on Facebook, so it's like, But yeah, he's seen that. He's like, oh my God, we work together. So I was like, this is kind of awesome, how we get to work together. And he's like, well, I'll just come down sometime. And like I said, this is like a little reunion. It means a lot to me. All we need is Doug, man. That would be perfect right there.
Get it in an old crappy building. Get Jason Maples to run a show. And,
right.
Yeah, the shows aren't as small as they used to be.
Oh,
you got the Heroes and Legends show now up in Indiana. They draw a pretty good crowd from what I've heard.
I'm going to be refereeing. Technically, I would say
break out the zebra stripes.
Well, the thing is, tonight, if you're willing, you and Brian, or if you guys are willing to do like a 5-minute match, to see if I still have it, because actually,
sure, I can kick his butt in less than 5 minutes, but we'll see.
Because you were one of the guys that said gave me a great compliment, and it'd be honored again. Like I said, let me know if I have it. Just be honest with me if I don't have it. I know I think I still have it. I would love to actually referee one of your matches that's non-sanctioned. So you down with that?
Yeah, I'm down with it. Bring it on.
See, this is kind of cool. Like I said, going retro. Except for, like I said, we're not in Marion right now. We're in Michigan. So, anything you want to say to anybody who wants to get into professional wrestling? Because there's a lot of people that that's the dreamers, and there's the people that's the catchers that actually go do this.
I would say find somebody that you know produces good talent out there, that you've seen rise and you've seen get smarter. Anybody that's willing to invest in you and take the time to teach you properly and educate you, and educate yourself in the process too. The more you involve yourself in the education process, the more the teacher's going to pour into you. So wherever you go, learn as much as you can most of the time. If you keep your mouth shut and your ears open, a lot of times you'll learn more than you will constantly asking questions. But if a question arises, ask it, because you'll never get an answer to a question you don't ask. So.
This is from a guy who has a lot of experience, so he's not just feeding you BS. Are you coming back into wrestling? What's going on? Because like I said, talking to you here and there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, the wrestling business has its strange way of kind of pulling you back into it, and it's just too much fun to try to pass up. I find out this awesome facility here is less than an hour away from my house. It runs on Mondays and Tuesdays for pro wrestling, so I can just jump in. I talked with Dan, and he's set it up where he goes, oh, you've already been trained, you've been through this, and you can teach my guys a couple things. You just come out whenever you feel like it, and we'll be more than welcome to have you. So I feel honored that Dan says it's cool for me to just come out here and work with the guys and try to break some ring rust off in the process. But I've been kind of dabbling back into the world of professional wrestling and having some fun doing it. And now I've been out of the business, but I haven't stopped learning from the business. So I've been educating myself in the last 10 years, not only in nursing, where I'm actually in the field of now, but also in the back happenstances of wrestling and what goes on in the ring and why a lot of it goes on. So even though my body's had a 10-year break, my brain hasn't.
It's addicting once you take the bumps and you get the pop and then you get the booze and the heel heat. Oh my God, it's crazy. But I personally want to say thank you for driving 45 minutes just to come and do like a little reunion. Not only that, but you know, also you're getting back in and willing to do a 5-minute match to see if I have what it takes. Like I said, it's retro to me, kind of like, you know, nostalgia. So again, thank you very much for coming 45 minutes just
My pleasure.
to, not only for a reunion, but I mean, you know, we've always got along in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, you know, I'm back in independence, man. I love it. It's a drug. So stay tuned for some more drills, blue mat, and the very ending of a Dos Landis will be their match. So stay tuned to see if I still have what it takes, and stay tuned to see him right there. Right there. See him get the green knocked off of him. You know what I mean about that part. Yeah, so.
Sorry.
I like that pop on you. It is pop like crazy. He's been doing it for a while.
Hello everybody, Dynamite McFeeters here at Michigan Sports Camps, and tonight you are going to witness the very first in-ring match in training. So, if you can veer off over here, you're going to see some professional wrestling.
Check his shorts, bro.
You know the drill?
That object
You've been
is
through this
not
before. You gonna ring the bell? Where's that?
I'm good.
Can you ring it?
No.
Where's that?
No, I'm good.
Gary. What's that?
No.
Can you ring it?
No.
What's that?
No, I'm good.
Good. What's that?
I'm good.
Gary, can you ring it?
No. No, I'm good.
Good. Where's that? On a rope. 1, 2, 3. You continue? Where's that?
I'm good.
Gary, will you ring it?
No.
Where's that?
Get out of my face.
1, 2. Continue.
Of course. Get out of my face.
Just doing my job.
Why don't you ask him? You want to continue?
I'm good.
Alright, yeah, sure.
No, I'm good.
Where's that? Where's that?
Last 10.
What do you say?
I'm good.
Continue. What do you say?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, come on, come on.
Go.
1,
Too long, bro.
3. What do you say? I missed.
Go.
Keep on the corner.
2.
Set. 1, 2. Both men are up. Watch the finish. What do you say?
I'm good.
Set.
No, I'm good.
What do you say? What do you say?
I'm good. He's trying to cheat, ref.
What do you say? How's you cheating? You cheating? What do you say? What do you say?
I'm good.
What do you say?
Come on, where'd you run out of count?
2.
Come on, there's no way. That should have been a 3 count.
2. Shoulder was up.
This guy learned how to count.
What's that?
No.
One, two.
Ah, come on. You know that was 3. Try it again.
1, 2.
Ah, you know you're a lousy piece of crap.
Shoulder was up. I counted it right. That's it. Let's see. What's that? What's that? What's that? Hey, right?
I'm too old for this. Can't breathe. I know.
Did you?
Reverse it. So wrong. Yeah, I suck so bad. Sorry.
I know I stopped one.
Oh, it's all right. It's my lungs that are hurting. But you didn't do anything to those.
Yeah, I should have jumped higher on that leapfrog.
No, I should have not. I should have been in my head. Instead, in my head I was going, how am I going to keep breathing? That's why you need to be
Uh-oh.
good cardio.
Come on, go.
That deal lesson, always be in good cardio condition. Because if not, you get sat on a leapfrog.
So,
My ball spot's not there. It's over here.
so, your thoughts? You think that's the one
Screw things up on a tackle.
Think that's
We're just talking about breathing.
So far, so good.
We're gonna make sure to send a copy of the end of dance.
Progress, you know, that's what Michigan Sports Camp's all about. It's all about progress.
Cool. So we see you maybe
Thanks for
for
the match, bro.
Saturday.
Yeah, no problem making me breathe.
You'll probably see me.
Good.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Worth the work.
So,
You're doing really good. Good job.
might see me
I
on Saturday.
think
Well,
Martin
my
saying something.
birthday on Saturday. Or?
It was fun.
I don't know. You guys wait and see.
I guess we'll
Gotta
find
find
out.
out.
Find out this Saturday from
Oh, that clock don't work. It's hadn't even been a minute on that clock.
That clock's broken.
What's your thoughts about today with the first for the second time?
Today was pretty awesome. Got to see some work, got to see some training. A good time.
You about ready to introduce us to them here pretty soon down the road?
I'm ready. You better be ready. Hard-hitting questions. Look out.
So what was your thoughts about how referee still have it or still work on it?
Still got it. A little here or there.
Just want to make
If you remember how to count to 3, that's the most important part.
But yeah, thank you for coming today, man.
Thank you.
No problem. Again, like I said, I want to get Chris to come in here real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Don't fucking tell me that just because I'm not jumping, you can't do it.
It's just not what you're expecting. When you've done so
Oh,
long,
I'm
you
not.
have the 200-pound guys that go, whoop.
What's your
When,
what's
as
your
soon as
thought
it's
on
here
it?
is when it's heavy.
Experience? Oh, I loved
When you're
it.
ready to whoop,
Yeah,
and then it's like,
I
okay,
pretty
now
much
that's
loved
gonna
it,
go down.
every second of it.
But this right
No.
here, shit's gonna be heavy enough.
Said this before, it's a completely different experience from watching it on TV versus, you know, seeing it in person, out on location.
The name sounds familiar.
So how do you feel about this Saturday POG actually came up for official full show?
I'm excited for it. It'll be the first time I'll, you know, operate camera for an event like this. I don't know what to expect, so
I can't remember names.
He's got this. He's too worried.
What's your thoughts about
My thoughts,
Saturday?
it'd be nice to film a wrestling show again. Haven't done it probably in 6 years. Be a good time. Hopefully get some backstage interviews with a few guys, hype them up for their matches, do damn good. So, what are you doing?
Real quick.
Brent's hard style, that's why.
Well, I had a time.
Hard style
Or
should still be said.
Because you just said
I guess I still have what it takes to referee. See me at PLG refereeing.
that's what
Can't wait. I'm excited to make a return in Michigan and then Heroes and Legends. So I am no longer visiting yards. I'm back in my paradise right here.
Gary Dawson.
No more visiting yards. Like I said, no more visiting yards. I'm right here.
But yeah, I
My
like
home.
come out here. And I
My
like, I like
paradise.
maybe every other Monday or something. Come out and do
Stay tuned for
a knee style
a
training.
Dose of Landis 28. We will be
Just for point
at Smash Fest at Valparaiso. And then the 29th, we will be at Heroes and Legends at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum.
But Dan still was in
The
more
30th Dark Angel
Went to the UFC.
Memorial Show,
From that point, it became
tribute
a
show,
year,
and
so it was
also
like all the
Middleweight Festival. We will be covering the 90s. We will be covering throwback. We'll be covering the country. We'll be covering family fan night. Family. I'm excited.
He's blowing up.
I'm blowing up. I'm excited.
He knows that's where it's at. It's where the fundamentals.
I'm back
If it goes
here.
down, and you're
Do you blame me?
essentially where you can learn it.
Jeff, yeah, you're definitely blowing up like an STD.
Keep rolling with that.
But yeah, Aaron Carter's gonna be there. Nappy Roots. Man, tons of great things, man. Boys to Men, they might have turned me down, but next year you're gonna be begging me for the interview.
I was trying to get it seamless, so we come
So
down.
I'm back.
And all I have to do is like.
I'm still taking my year off, but I'm back. Back where I belong. I'm sorry, I'm excited. Hyped. Back in the ring.
I can hook it.
Every time I take a face bump like that, it's my instinct.
Like they say before, curtain call. Let me see something. Let me see if I can. Haven't done this in forever. See if I can. Never mind. I can't do it. I can't do it. I was gonna try to. I can't do it. But thanks for watching the Dose of Landis. Thanks Dan Severn. Thanks Brian. I'm done.